Welcome back, renovation rookies and project pros. Ready to take your kitchen dreams and turn them into business analysis superpowers? You might be surprised, but that kitchen overhaul you've been planning, or maybe just survived, is packed with lessons that could directly apply to the exciting world of business analysis. In this video, we're not just skimming the surface. We're diving deep into how every step of a kitchen renovation mirrors key concepts and methodologies used by business analysts every single day. From choosing your approach to documenting every detail and handling unexpected disasters, we'll cover it all. Get ready for the ultimate guide to understanding business analysis through the lens of your very own home improvement project. Let's roll up our sleeves and get started. Before you even think about countertops or cabinets, you need a plan. Do you have a meticulously detailed blueprint from the start, knowing exactly what each phase will look like? That's akin to the waterfall methodology. It's a linear, sequential approach. Design, demolition, plumbing, electrical, finishing. Each stage largely completes before the next begins. It works well for projects with clearly defined requirements from the outset. Or are you more flexible? Maybe you have a general idea but want to adapt as you go, perhaps choosing appliances after the initial layout is done. That's closer to Agile. It's iterative and adaptable, focusing on delivering value in smaller increments. Within Agile, Scrum is a popular framework that uses short, focused work cycles called sprints. Think of each sprint as tackling a specific area, like getting all the plumbing finalized. You might even find yourself blending these approaches. Perhaps you have a solid overall design, waterfall-esque, but you handle the painting and backsplash selection in shorter, more flexible cycles, Agile-like. That's a hybrid approach. Let's zoom in on a plumbing sprint. First, you'd have sprint planning, defining exactly what needs to be done with the pipes, who's responsible, and the timeline for this short burst of work. Throughout the sprint, you might have quick daily stand-ups with your plumber to check progress and address any immediate roadblocks. Once the plumbing is, hopefully, complete, you'd have a sprint review, inspecting the work, ensuring it meets your needs. Finally, a sprint retrospective would involve reflecting on what went well during the plumbing sprint and what could be improved for future sprints, like the electrical work. Imagine you're eager to use your kitchen, but are undecided on high-end appliances. You might opt for a basic functional stove and refrigerator first. This is the essence of a minimum viable product, MVP. It's delivering the core functionality needed to start using the product, your kitchen, and gather feedback before investing in all the desired features. In business, this allows for early user feedback and reduces the risk of building something nobody wants. Once the new sink is installed, you're definitely going to test it for leaks, right? That's testing in action. You might even have a friend, your user, come over and try washing dishes to see if the sink and faucet meet their needs. This mirrors user acceptance testing, UAT, where end users validate if the delivered solution meets their expectations. And the earlier you catch any issues, say a misaligned cabinet door early in the installation process, the easier and cheaper they are to fix. This highlights the importance of shift-left testing, bringing testing activities earlier in the project lifecycle. Throughout your renovation, you'll likely accumulate notes, sketches, appliance manuals, maybe even a binder full of decisions. In business analysis, we have more structured ways of documenting everything. Your initial vision and goals for the kitchen are like a business requirements document, BRD, outlining the overall needs and objectives. The detailed specifications of where every cabinet goes, the type of flooring, and how the smart appliances will function are similar to functional requirement specifications, FRS. Thinking about how you'll actually use the kitchen. As a busy parent, I need a quick and easy breakfast prep area. Translates to use cases, describing specific interactions with the system, your kitchen. If you suddenly decide you want to move the location of the island after the initial layout was approved, that's a change request. Before any work begins on installing a specific element, like the countertops, you'll likely have acceptance criteria, specific conditions that must be met for the countertop installation to be considered complete and acceptable. For example, correct material dimensions, no visible scratches. To manage the scope of the renovation, you might break down the entire project into larger epics like install new cabinetry and smaller user stories. Within that epic, such as install soft close hinges on cabinet doors, To understand the needs of everyone who will use the kitchen, you might create personas, fictional representations of your typical kitchen users. For example, the busy parent, the weekend chef. Mapping out their entire experience of using the renovated kitchen, from making coffee in the morning to hosting a dinner party, is journey mapping. To ensure all your requirements are addressed and linked to the final deliverables, you might implicitly create a traceability matrix in your mind or on paper, connecting your initial needs to the specific design elements and installed features. And to keep track of potential problems, assumptions you're making, issues that arise, and dependencies between different tasks. For example, plumbing needs to be done before the flooring. You're essentially managing a RAID log. You likely have a wish list for your dream kitchen that stretches beyond your budget. This is where prioritization comes in. You might use Moscow prioritization to categorize features as must-have, functional sink, should-have, dishwasher, could-have, wine fridge, and won't-have for now, built-in coffee machine. Your list of tasks yet to be done is your backlog, and regularly reviewing and refining this list, ensuring it's still aligned with your goals and priorities, is backlog refinement. A kitchen renovation involves a team. You, the designer, the contractor, plumbers, electricians, etc. Getting everyone on the same page is crucial. In business analysis, we often facilitate JAD sessions, joint application development workshops, to collaboratively gather requirements and make decisions with all stakeholders. Understanding who all these individuals are, what their interests are, and managing their expectations throughout the project is key to stakeholder management. What happens if the custom-ordered cabinets arrive damaged? You need a process to address this issue and get it resolved. That's escalation, a clearly defined path for raising problems to the appropriate level of authority to ensure timely resolution and minimize project delays. Just like you have your hammers and screwdrivers, business analysts rely on various tools and technologies. For managing tasks and tracking progress, tools like Jira are common. For documenting requirements and collaborating on information, Confluence is widely used. To visually map out processes and designs, tools like Lucidchart, and for user interface mockups, Figma are popular. For analyzing data related to the project or its impact, Power BI can be invaluable. And for remote collaboration and meetings, tools like Zoom and Miro are essential. So there you have it. From the initial spark of an idea to the final touches, your kitchen renovation journey is a surprisingly comprehensive crash course in business analysis. By understanding these core concepts and how they relate to a familiar process, you're already thinking like a BA. Which part of your own home renovation resonated most with these business analysis principles? Share your stories and insights in the comments below. If you found this deep dive helpful and want to explore more about the exciting field of business analysis, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future content. Thanks for joining me on this renovation to BA adventure, and I'll see you in the next video.